All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Bell's Brewery, and they're out of both Kalamazoo and Comstock, Michigan, and this is their Oberon Ale, the 2023 release. So this is an American wheat ale that comes in at 5.8% alcohol by volume, 25 IBUs at the time of review. And this can is approximately 1 month old. So this is the rare re-review here on the channel because I reviewed this one back in a late summer of 2018. So that was almost 5 years ago. And I just picked up the variety 12-pack of the Oberons they've released, and it includes this beer, their citrus Oberon, their cherry Oberon, and their mango habanero Oberon. So I kind of wanted to re-review this one to kind of, remember what the base tasted like, and then, compare the other ones to this. I also want to re-review this one because the last time I had it was in that review, and my palate has changed a lot in 5 years, so I want to see if I enjoy this one a bit more because, full disclosure, I've never really loved this one. I've always found it okay, solid, but never really loved it. I know a lot of folks in Michigan love this one. It signifies the beginning of spring, and they have the whole Oberon Day and everything. But to me, when I want a wheat beer, I kind of gravitate towards Belgian Wit beers or German Hefeweizens. My go-to here in the U.S. is definitely Allagash White, one of my favorite wheat beers, period. And yeah, so anyway, I'm going to revisit this one, and like all my reviews, go into it with an open mind. Again, just to give you kind of a understanding of how I view this beer, I gave this one last time I reviewed it a 3.5, and that's typically what I give about 3.5 out of 5. I've had this beer numerous times. It first showed up here in the Buffalo, New York area back in 2014. I remember people going nuts buying cases of this, and also Hop Slam when it was released. And you know what? I want to say it was never really hyped, but I never bought into the beer myself. So yeah, I hope and I enjoyed it a little bit more today because I don't know about you. I've said this before recently, but I buy beer because I want to like it for no other reason, and I'd love to enjoy this one. So anyway, yeah, that has that kind of hazy look you want from a American wheat ale or American pale wheat ale, as this is classified. It has that like hazy kind of orange color. Honestly, if you just hand this to somebody, they'd be like, oh, that's a nice hazy IPA, because it kind of has that look to it. Yeah, like a hazy golden orange color. Yeah, you can see my shadow of my hand, but you can't actually see my hand through it. Had about a finger of a bright white colored head that is now dissipated to like maybe a quarter of a finger of head. Yeah, it kind of looks exactly what I think it should look like. So aesthetically pleasing and kind of fits the role of an American wheat ale. Let's get a nose. So same thing. I shouldn't be surprised, but same thing. I get subtle hints of like an orange and like a lemon zest, maybe a little bit of a sweeter, juicier orange, but lemon zest. Get a little bit of like a phenolic yeast character, like a slight clove or like a coriander, something in that realm. And then wheat, you get the base wheat malt. It doesn't smell bad or anything. It smells kind of bland, a little bit boring, But to be fair, here's the thing. This beer is meant to be super crushable, and it's at 5.8%. From what I remember, it's super crushable. I could take, I could easily drink a 6-pack of it and not really complain about it. But flavor-wise, if I'm leaning towards something like this, I want a little bit more of a pop, a little bit more of an intensity to the flavors. And I always found this one just be a little bit subtle and lacking. And that's pretty much the nose. There's not much more past that. There's like 4 different characters. There's orange and lemon, so citrus kind of zest, a little bit of juiciness. There's that wheat malt. There's a little bit of a spicy phenolic yeast character. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't smell, like I said, bad at all. It just doesn't smell great. So anyway, let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Summer's on the way, although it could be argued here in the Buffalo, New York area, spring hasn't even started. Anyway, cheers. So I'm always honest with my reviews, and a lot of you understand that and appreciate that. And I always appreciate when you leave a comment, you're like, you got to be honest, and I'm glad you are. And the honest to God truth about this beer for me, keep in mind, beer is subjective. Everybody knows that. This is just a solid, decent, okay wheat beer for me. That's what it is. There's nothing wrong with it at all. It's just, I wish my palate for this beer specifically changed. Like, I've had a lot of beers over the past year or two that I hadn't had for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and I come back, I'm like, wow, I really like this. My palate enjoys it. This is the exact same beer that I remember. Buying this is like lower side of medium, which is fine at 5.8%. The best part about this beer to me is the mouthfeel. The mouthfeel has like that nice, smooth, almost creamy sensation you expect from like, or at least I expect from like a Hefeweizen. It's crisp, don't get me wrong, it has like approaching moderate carbonation, but that soft, smooth kind of mouthfeel, softer than I should say, like, you know, like a regular, like say like regular macro lager or something like that, right? I think the mouthfeel on this is what I appreciate the most from it and what I enjoy the most because it makes it a lot easier to drink. It's almost like New England IPA-esque with the smooth and almost creamy sensation. But the taste, there's just not a lot for me. Up front, I get wheat. It dives right underneath the palate. It's omnipresent with me the entire way, so you know this is a wheat beer. Right after that, I get a nice like kick of like a slight juicy orange. Then I get a lemon zest. And then midway to 2/3 of the way through the palate, I get a little bit of that phenolic yeast character, a little bit of clove and coriander sprinkled in. Finishes almost full on dry with a mild to moderate bitterness, more to the mild side of things. This isn't really a bitter beer at all. It just has a little bit of a mild bitterness. Yeah, it's pretty well balanced from the sweet malt character into the dry finish. Could I drink a ton of these? Yes. Do I want to? Not really. This is a beer where if somebody handed it to me, I have absolutely no problems taking it down and not complaining about it or anything. But outside of like buying this variety pack, for me personally, I don't want to buy this beer again. I never will buy this beer again. And not because of the quality of the beer, because I think the quality of beer is good. I think when I sum everything up, and I've said this before, I think the American Pale Wheat Ale category, which is what this is technically classified as, or even just you want to say American Wheat Ale, I think the Belgian and German counterparts are way better than the American ones. And that's just how it is for me personally. So I'm always going to gravitate towards a Belgian wit beer, a German Hefeweizen, when we're talking about a wheat beer in general. And I don't think that's a fault to Bell's. I think that's just a fault to my palate and what I enjoy. So I know a lot of you out there really dig this beer and look forward to its release every March. And that's the beauty about craft beer and beer in general. We have so many different beers that you can pick up. And if you look forward to this beer every single year, you do you enjoy it. You buy a case of it, you buy multiple cases of it, and you enjoy it. That's what you do. It's your money, it's your palate. You enjoy what you enjoy, and I'll enjoy what I enjoy. I will say, at the end of the day, I am very curious to see how the three variants of this taste, because I really did enjoy that tropical Oberon, but to be honest with you, it kind of tasted like fruit juice. And you couldn't taste the Oberon, so that's probably why I enjoyed it. So anyway, I'm going to take one more sip and rate it, but you're probably not going to be surprised with the rating. Best way, like I said, sum it up for me, a solid, decent, okay American Wheat Ale. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. I drink it again. I don't want to buy it. I don't really want to drink it again, but I would. If, like I said, if I was at a party or something or hanging out at a, like a barbecue or something, they had this, I would easily drink this. Do I want to? No. So Oberon Ale, the 2023 release, it's a 3.5 out of 5. It hasn't changed for me. Probably never will change. And I probably will never review this one again just because, hey, I've reviewed it twice now and it hasn't changed in 5 years. So I highly doubt this is going to change. So anyway, price point availability. I don't remember what the exact price point on a 6 or 12 pack or a case of this would be. But I would imagine 10 to 12 bucks for a 6-pack and probably for a 12-pack, $15 to $18. The variety pack I bought was $18.99 for the 12 beers. You got 4 different beers, 3 of each. But, one 7.5%. All of them have other adjuncts in it, so a little bit probably pricier than the regular Oberon 12-pack. And availability, this is back when I reviewed it in 2018. This, I'm pretty sure, had year-round availability in Arizona and in Florida. I don't know post-pandemic if that is still the case. I do know that they have Oberon Day usually in March. I think it's on the first day of spring in March, pretty sure. But yeah, they always have Oberon Day, and that's typically around when they start releasing it. And if you get Bell's, I would imagine you see this one because this is one of their key seasonals. If you don't, then that's crazy to me because like this, I mean, everyone should get Two-Hearted, and then most places should see this, and then probably Hop Slammer, like the 3 that you usually see from them. But if not, post in the comment section, let me know. Did you not see this year? It'd be weird if you didn't and you get Bell's, but I'd be curious. Anyway, 5.8% is a little bit, I always say this is a little bit bigger than a regular one. You don't taste the alcohol, but I think that could impede the drinkability. If you are somebody drinking like a 6-pack of this, or maybe even a 12-pack over the course of a day on trying to feel good, 5.8 might be a a little bit too much. Maybe this would be better in like the 4.8 realm, but you can't taste the alcohol at all. So it makes it a little bit scary from that perspective because it's almost 6% and it drinks like it's 4, you know what I mean? So there's that too. Anyway, if you've had this one before or any prior release of this, post in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this one. I'm sure there's going to be varying opinions in the comment section. I'm sure some folks are not going to be happy with my opinion. Again, this is all opinion. That's all this beer reviewing stuff is. It's just me giving my opinion on the beer. Nothing is factual. It's just all what I think about it. So if you disagree with me, post in the comment section. Tell me why you like this one. What resonates with you as far as this beer goes. What makes you really love this beer? I'd love to hear from you about it. Anyway, appreciate it. To the next one. Cheers.